Welcome! Last year I made this video, inspired by my wonderful nephews and Phoenix buying me an Xbox 360 for my birthday. Still an awesome present, guys. Thank you so much. But I did pass comments at the time that I've decided to get into Xbox 360 collecting at a time when prices seem to be going up. Well, they seem to have stabilised a little bit anyway, but I have been, slowly over the last few months, building up a nice little collection. I thought I'd break it up into parts, otherwise it'll be too long a video, and just show you what I've been getting to prove you can get Xbox 360 bangers, a lot of which are console exclusives, for very little money. And just to show that I respect your time and I'm not going to do the obvious, I'm not going to include any of the Halo games. These were actually gifted to me with the Xbox. You can get these up nice and cheaply from anywhere, they sold so well. I don't think I need to tell you that Halo's cool. And I'm not going to include any of the Gears of War games, because like Halo, they sold really well, they're really cheap. The dearest one's about £2.50, £3, the cheapest one's £1. And they're really good. If you're watching this video, you don't need me to tell you to buy these two franchises. They're worth owning a 364 on their own. We're going to get to something, hopefully, that you haven't thought of. Maybe give you some ideas for when you're out shopping next. All the games I've got here are console exclusives. Yes, I'm sure they're available on PC, but I'm talking physical exclusives here. They're definitely not on the PS3. And we're going to begin with... What are we going to begin with? The Witcher 2. I've played this a little bit back in the day, but only a small amount. I've played The Witcher 3, like I dare say many of us have, and loved it. So I'm quite keen to go on another Witcher journey. This comes with a sleeve case. It's a little bit battered on the corners, but it's cardboard. What do you expect? It also comes with a quest handbook, which as you flick through just gives you some little guides. I haven't really read it yet, but I will do when the time comes. And it even comes with a good old-fashioned manual. So I'm really happy to have that in the collection. I can't tell you much about it other than my hopes are high, because The Witcher 3 was such a good game. Obviously I'm not expecting the graphics on this or even the gameplay to be quite as tight as that, because this was made before then. But I'm really, really looking forward to jumping back in this world. Next up we have a game which the critics seem to hate, but I want to discover for myself if it's good or bad. That is Perfect Dark Zero. I believe the only other Perfect Dark game was on the N64, which I've never played. It's an action stroke spy game. The game is set in the future in the year 2020. Kind of shows the age of the game a little bit there, but never mind. The future's dark, ruthless corporations compete in a savage, unseen war for global domination. Not too far off. Fueled by vengeance, Joanna Dark is thrown into a raging battle of corporate conspiracy and corruption. And it looks like it's mainly a first-person shooter, but a couple of spy bits in it as well. That's all I know. I've pretty much just read the back of the game in case you couldn't tell. I just want to find out for myself if it's any good or not. And I picked this up for £1.50. I think I can gamble £1.50 to see if it's any good or not. Oh, incidentally, I forgot to say earlier, The Witcher 3, I bought this off eBay for £9.10p with free postage. Next up we have Far Cry Instincts Predator. This is a remake stroke remaster of the original game which came out on PC. I don't think it's the only version of the original game they released actually, but it's the one I got. It cost me a grand total of £4 which I think was fair. And I'm a huge Far Cry fan. I've loved all the games that I've played. The only one I've not played through yet is 6. I've got it, I just haven't got around to playing it. And I'm really quite keen to see just exactly what this, admittedly, modernish update on the first game is like. It looks fun to me. I mean, it's Far Cry. Can't be wrong, can it? Next, I've got Circle of Doom. It's actually fully Kingdom Under Fire Circle of Doom. And it's an action RPG. I like an action RPG. I don't tend to go for JRPGs because I don't like turn-based combat. I like the action style ones like Dragon's Dogma. And this looks pretty nice, to be fair. Graphically, it looks quite impressive. Got quite a few enemies on screen at one time. You've got everything from giant cyclops to small goblins, or whatever they're called in the thing. You're saving a world from eternal darkness, overcoming hordes of demented monsters, and journeying through a twisted, surreal environment to face unspeakable nightmares. Sounds fun. I like a good RPG. Really glad to add this to the collection. And for the grand total of £4, not complaining. This is another Xbox 360 franchise which you may be familiar with, so I'm going to put them together. I've got Crackdown and Crackdown 2, and they both cost me £1 each. £1 each! Haven't played a Crackdown game before, but I know the score. You're basically some sort of super soldier. Yeah, third-person game. You're genetically enhanced, an agent of justice, and you've got to rid the city of crime. Well, that just sounds fun. It's an open-world game. It looks absolutely fantastic looking at the reviews of it and the trailer, which you're obviously seeing now. It's one of those Xbox franchises which I've neglected, or I did neglect back in the day when it was current gen, and I'm looking forward to setting that right. That's going quite near the top of the pile, actually. Now, I've mentioned in previous videos that Ace Combat is one of my favourite game series. One of my favourite PS4 games of all time is Ace Combat 7. I love it, and it's one of the most graphically impressive games that I've played on that system as well. Well, there was an Xbox 360 console exclusive, and that was Ace Combat 6. It was the only game in the franchise I hadn't played, but I actually have already played through this. It was the first game that I put in my Xbox 360 after Halo 3. It's just brilliant. I absolutely adore Ace Combat. They get the right level of graphics and immersion and realism mixed with arcadey action. Now, we all know that in real life, you're never going to have one plane shoot down 1,000 others, and you're not going to be able to carry that amount of missiles either. But they keep the action fast, they keep it ferocious, but they keep the flying mechanics realistic enough to keep it arcadey whilst also giving you a level of immersion. I absolutely adored this game. I like Ace Combat in general. Still think the 7th one on the PS4 is the best one so far, but this was absolutely fantastic. Really delighted to have got it. Loved playing through it. I got this for £6 from CEX. So it's one of the more expensive games I've picked up, but worth every single penny. Speaking of franchise with Xbox 360 exclusive games, we're actually going to get to two more which fit that category. The first is Splinter Cell Conviction. Now, I think Splinter Cell's actually thought of as more of an Xbox franchise anyway, but it did come out multi-platform, except for this game. Physically, we can only get it on the Xbox 360. And it's great fun. Splinter Cell to me is one of the granddaddies of the stealth games. Okay, Metal Gear Solid came before, but apart from that, Splinter Cell really set the bar. I love everything about it. It didn't get the best reviews because they said it was a bit too much action and a little bit too little stealth. I quite liked the balance myself. You went from stealth sections to action sections. It kept things mixed up. It kept the story moving forward, which is a good story. And generally, just a great, fun game. It cost me £2.50. Yes, I've already played through this one as well, and I loved every second of it. I liked it in Sam Fisher, I liked going back into the Splinter Cell series, and this was the only game that I was missing from my collection. Now I've got every Splinter Cell game made. I just wish they'd make another one. Second to last here, we've got one that fits the same description as Splinter Cell in the fact of other games in this franchise did come out on other consoles. They came out multi-platform. However, the original Call of Juarez, or Juarez, or Horaz, I'm not sure how you say it. If you want it physically, you can only get it on the 360. And I think Gunslinger only came out digitally. But we're talking about the first one. It's a Western game. Don't go into it expecting anything like Red Dead Redemption. It's much more linear, but it's still great fun. We haven't had enough cowboy games, and I wonder if part of that is because Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2 set the bar so high, other companies are scared to make a Western game because they know they're not going to be able to hit the same heights. Just a thought. Either way, I haven't played it yet, but I'm thoroughly looking forward to it because it's just a category of game we don't have enough in. And I've played through Gunslinger, thoroughly enjoyed that one. I do have 2 others that I haven't played through yet. I know the Cartel's not a Western one, but the other one is. So, happy to add it into the collection. And it was such a bargain at £5 from eBay. Now, you can get this in CEX for 2 or 3 quid, but they were just out of stock and I really wanted it. So, I paid a little bit more, £1 or 2 more than I'd have got it in the shop because it was out of stock, but for 5 quid, worth it to me. All those games that I've just showed you, if you want them physically on a home console, Xbox 360 exclusives. The dearest one was The Witcher 2 at £9.10. The cheapest were the Crackdowns at £1 each. So you can see you can get some cracking games, you can get some of the exclusive games for very little money. This next game is almost in the exclusive category. It is Gun. Now, this did come out on the 6th generation of consoles. I've already got it on the PlayStation 2. But if you want it on a 7th gen console, which in theory should be the better version, being a whole generation newer, you can only get it on a 7th gen console that is the Xbox 360. It didn't come out on the PlayStation 3. So, half an exclusive, you can play it on other systems, but in theory, this should be the superior version. Now, I've played through this game many times. This came out before the first Red Dead Redemption game. Obviously, it came out after Red Dead Revolver, but before the first Red Dead Redemption, and you will see quite a few mechanics in this, which you later see in Red Dead Redemption and the sequel, Red Dead Redemption 2. Particularly the Deadeye aiming system, where it slows down time and you mark spots on the baddie to shoot. Really good fun game. It's not too long, it's not too short, it's just right. The end boss battle is the only downside of this game. It's absolute pig, to be honest with you, but it's worth getting through it, and the rest of the game is superb. You've got an open world, it's not massive, but it's varied enough. You go from farmsteads, you do some herding, shooting certain animals, hunting trophies, they're meant to be like rare ones. You get side missions as well as following through on the main one. You're riding on a horse, taking out baddies, and you can even go and hunt people who are wanted for a reward. Catch them dead or alive. Thoroughly recommend this game. Now, in CEX, you are looking at about 20 quid for this. I got it off Vinted and made a cheeky offer because I'd seen it had been for sale for about 5 or 6 weeks. It worked out, with the postage and everything else, at £11.20p. So I got it nearly half price what it is in CEX. Took a bit of time. I only actually got it about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I started collecting for this back in October. So I was looking for a while, but it goes to show, if you bide your time, you can get some absolute bangers. So there we have 10 Xbox 360 console exclusive games. None of them particularly expensive. One of them just took a long time to find at a reasonable price. And I didn't even have to include a single Halo game or a single Gears of War game. It can be done. And I'm going to show you in part 2 and probably part 3 as well, looking at the pile of games I've got so I can split it down. Subscribe so you don't miss them. I will put out some additional content in between, so I'm not just doing samey. I'm not going to become a game collecting channel because I ain't got enough money to do that every week. I just want to show you how cheaply you can get things for an absolutely banging system. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Ta-da for now.